Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a quick look at and installing the MMD Decklid panel available for the 13 to 14 Mustang. Now, if you're the owner of a late S197 model, you might be looking for a way to spice up the rear end look of your Mustang, and an MMD Decklid panel is a perfect way to go. Now, if you're not familiar with MMD, it's modern muscle design from none other than Chip Foose himself. Now, the goal of modern muscle design parts are really to give you aftermarket car parts that modernize a retro styling. Now, this is going to give you that nice retro look at the rear end, and my favorite part of this is the fact that it's going to complete the rear by matching your license plate surround. Now, this is going to go from that gloss black factory look to a textured embossed horizontal styling here. The matte black look has that textured finish there, and it's going to retain your factory badge. Now, this is going to use 3M automotive bonding tape along with your 2 factory Torx bit screws to make sure it's secured in place, and once it's on, it's not going anywhere. The best thing is there's no modification necessary, no cutting, no drilling, none of that nonsense. It takes you about 30 minutes. This is going to come in right around $150, and the install I'm going to give 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can tackle this in the driveway at home with, like I said, about 30 minutes from start to finish. I'm going to take you through every single step of the process here, starting with the uninstall of that factory panel. Let's get to it. Tools used in this install include an impact gun or a ratchet, T15 Torx socket, a knife. I use 2 small flathead screwdrivers, but 1 will do the trick as well, and a panel removal tool. First step, of course, you want to open up your trunk lid, grab a T15 Torx bit, and we're going to remove the 2 screws, 1 on each side, holding on the bottom of our Decklid panel. Next up, we're going to take a panel removal tool, which I definitely recommend using, and we're basically going to put this into the cracks and peel back on the Decklid panel. Now, the panel itself has 3M automotive bonding tape all around the inside of it, holding it to the Decklid, so we have to peel that back. If you look on the back here, you can see multiple clips holding this on along with the foam padding and a small strip of 3M here. Now, what we're going to do now is set this on the table, take our badge off, and we'll transfer it over to our new Decklid panel. All right, so now we're on a table. We have our factory Decklid panel face down here. I have 2 small, thin flathead screwdrivers. I use 2 just because I think it makes life a little easier here. On the back side of your badge, you have 2 little studs. Around each stud is a ring or a washer. That washer is clipping it into place, so we have to remove that and then we can push it out. Now, it's not uncommon for 1, if not both of these studs to break off. Now, ours on the right here is broken off, the left one is still in good condition, so I'm gonna focus on the left one. I use these 2 flatheads to go 1 on each side and peel up that washer. Now again, you don't need 2, but I feel like it makes life a little bit easier and makes the process a little quicker. All right, so here's that stud and here is that retainer clip. We're just peeling back and it pops right off. We can set that aside. You want to hold on to that if you ever want to put it back to stock. All right, so with that out of the way, let's flip this guy back over. I'm going to use my panel removal tool to go right into the edge and peel up on the emblem. Perfect. All right, with the factory badge out of the way, we can set that aside and we can bring our new MMD panel onto the table and talk about them side by side. Now, I know we already talked about the details of the MMD panel, but we have it next to the factory panel, and I want to quickly just take a closer look at them side by side. That factory panel is a complete gloss black finish, not textured whatsoever. Your new MMD option is a textured matte black finish with the horizontal bar styling. The thing I really like about the MMD option here is that it's an exact match to your license plate surround. Now, that is something that also has that retro styling that you'd see from the 60s and 70s. More importantly, it makes that whole rear end look just a little more uniform. Now, the factory badge is going to get transferred over at this point, so we can set aside the factory panel here, and we're going to attach this. Now, you do have the option of putting new 3M tape on the back here, or you can just reuse the old 3M tape if it still has that sticky element to it, along with that little flat washer that we removed earlier. So let's set this guy aside and get to installing. We can take our factory badge and we're going to sit this right into our new panel, making sure it is aligned properly. Once you have that, you want to hold pressure on it and flip it over. We're going to take that factory washer and stick that right back over the stud. Now, you can use flatheads to push this all the way down, so let's go get those and make sure it seats all the way. All right, so with these flatheads, I'm just going to push this all the way down so it seats at the base. All right, so at this point you want to grab the alcohol wipe included in the kit, and we have to clean off the entire Decklid panel area. Now that way we can remove any of the dirt and dust that would prevent the 3M automotive bonding tape from getting a good bond with the paint on your vehicle. All right, so now looking at the back of our panel, we have each of the 3M tape strips peeled back at least halfway to make it a little easier to remove. You'll also notice there's these retainer pins, one on each of the bottom corners. They're gonna fit right into these open holes on the Decklid panel to help you align it. So let's look at those first and make sure we have it in about the right position. Once you have that seated in, you can put slight pressure on and peel off the rest of each of the backing. All right, just make sure it's aligned properly with firm pressure on the top and bottom. So once you have firm pressure on each of the corners here, let's open it up and put our factory screws back in, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so I have that factory T15 torque screw. I'm gonna put it right through here where those tabs were and just screw them down. All right, now you have it. So that's gonna wrap up my quick overview and install for the MMD Decklid panel fitting 13 to 14 Mustang. You can get yours right here exclusively at AmericanMuscle.com.